What is going on, everyone? It is your boy Blank Online here today to chat with you guys more about some Call of Duty Modern Warfare and what could be, what I believe is skill-based matchmaking going way too far. Now, we all know skill-based matchmaking is in this game. We know that after 5 games, you get put into lobbies with players who are of a similar skill to you. We know that we have a skill rating, although we can't see that skill rating. We know that skill-based matchmaking is in this game. Now, I felt like this for a long time, and there's a lot of people in my comment section telling me this, and it's about hit detection. And now hit detection has not been, and it's not a new thing, right? And issues regarding hit detection, it's not necessarily a new thing. Many Call of Duties previously have had hit detection issues, whether that be because of host servers, host connection, whether that be due to a number of factors, and it's never been based on skill. Now, there's an interesting little message here from a user by the name of Green Arrows. Now, I'm gonna read it to you, and I'm gonna show it to you as well, and let me know what you think about it. So he says, I'm in Drifter's Discord, and from what I've read, it's a form of managing latency for players with poor connection and lower skill. It's quite simple. A good player can afford to have a random but small number of bullets in a magazine not register, as they are more likely to hit their shots due to superior accuracy. Consequently, that gives the bad player with poor connection the ability to have a fair experience as they engage in a gunfight. Now, I'm not going to say that this is fact. I'm not going to say that this is truth, and I'm not going to say that this is 100% accurate and that sort of thing. He may be talking out of, like, he just may be spitting bullshit. This could be real, this could be a number of things. There's no actual hard evidence in terms of actual, I guess, stuff from Infinity Ward themselves to back up Green Arrow's point. We don't even know if he was actually in Drifter's Discord. What we can do and what we can prove is what's happening in the game. I'm going to show you guys a couple of clips here, and just to show how this whole thing, I guess, came about. Now, those clips I just showed you there were not mine. There are things that I found on Reddit, and I've been reading the Modern Warfare Reddit a lot recently, and a lot of people are complaining about the hit detection. And I've felt like this for a long time. I felt like my shots weren't registering. I felt like there's so many instances when I'm playing this game where I aim at someone and my shots are accurate, and I know my shots are accurate, but I'm getting no hit markers, and I'm dying. And although I shot the person first, it's that concept of shoot first, die first. And again, that concept is not a new thing. The people have been complaining about this for a whole, I don't know, for ages. Lag compensation was something that was big in Modern Warfare 3, and what lag compensation was essentially what this is, and it's no surprise that Modern Warfare 3 was also an Infinity Ward game. It's disappointing if this is real. I had a person in my comment section, I can't remember your name for the life of me, sorry, but I had a person in my comment section that asked me to look into this. And he said that there was apparently a hitbox pattern that proves that this system is in place. Now, I haven't been able to find that hitbox pattern. I'm not too sure where that person got it from, but if I do find it, I will bring it up and I will show you guys. But apparently that's out there and that's a thing. I don't know how true or false that comment was, but if it is true, then it really does explain a lot of things. This is an instance of skill-based matchmaking going way too far. It's a system that none of us wanted in the first place. It's also a very hidden system. It's not something that Infinity Ward has even confirmed. They deny all instances of skill-based matchmaking, and they're telling us that matchmaking is completely connection-based, even though we know that is completely not the case. This hitbox thing, whatever it is, to make the hitboxes smaller for players with different skills, is absolutely ridiculous. There's been numerous videos and numerous clips just like the ones that I've just showed you of people, even in private matches, displaying how bad the hitboxes are and how random they are, how small they are. And this really does make a point, and it proves that there's something going on here. Whether that be whatever Green Hours is saying or not is yet to be revealed, but this is skill-based matchmaking going way too far. To think that, let's say myself, I have a smaller hitbox to shoot at than someone with either a lower skill than me or a poor connection than me is ridiculous, because why should that player with, in the first place, if matchmaking is connection based, why would that player with the poor connection even be in my lobby to begin with if my connection is completely fine? Wouldn't you put poorer connection players with other poorer connection players? So why would you handicap players with either better skill or a better connection? Why would you handicap those players in order to accommodate for people with lower skill and or poor connection? It just doesn't make sense if you want to, I guess, prove, or if you want to say that this matchmaking system in this game is purely connection based. And this, if true, just proves that it's not connection based at all. It's skill based. There's no other way to prove it. Like, it's ridiculous how in 2020 we have a Call of Duty game that not only caters to casual players and players that are new to the franchise, it also handicaps players with higher skill and handicaps players with better connection. Back in the day, I don't know if you know this, but back in the day, if you had a 1-bar connection, then you were lagging all across the map and you couldn't really do anything, and therefore players couldn't really do anything to you either, like, because you were just moving and teleporting everywhere, and it didn't really, you just really couldn't do anything. And now we're here in 2020 where players with that same poor connection can have a better opportunity of killing people with players with a better connection than them, because Infinity Ward wants to manage latency for players with poor connection or lower skill. It doesn't make any sense at all. Again, lag compensation. Lag compensation was something in Modern Warfare 3, and what lag compensation did was exactly this. It wasn't based on skill, but it was based on connection. Essentially, this whole thing of managing latency for players with poorer connection, and what you would find in Modern Warfare 3 was exactly what we're finding here in Modern Warfare. It's the fact that players with poorer connections would have an easier time killing people with better connections, because the way that the game servers will work, that it will manage, and players who are lagging will be compensated for the lag that they're experiencing, making their experience better, but making the experience for players with better connection a lot more frustrating, because they know that they aimed right, they know they shot at the right places, they know they did everything that they could do to kill the person, and they just died because they have a better connection. And that's essentially what we're seeing here in Modern Warfare, and it doesn't make sense. And it makes absolutely no sense as to why you would want to handicap players with better connection and better skill. If this game is purely connection based, then we should be getting lobbies with mixed varied skills of players, because then our lobbies will be filled with players who are on the similar type and nat type as well, and a similar speed and all those sort of things in terms of connection, in terms of internet and all that crap. It's frustrating. It really is frustrating, because the main thing we've got to look at here, and the main thing that we've got to, I guess, understand here when it comes to this form of skill-based matchmaking is that it's gone that next step. Skill-based matchmaking, as we thought Modern Warfare to be originally, was just purely based on your first 5 games of playing. You get a skill rating based on those 5 games, and then you go from there. It then turned into just without the 5 games, and players experiencing just getting into lobbies based on what the game perceives to be their skill level and their skill rating, and then going from there. And then now it's evolved seemingly into a point where it's both based on skill rating and connection as well, and that connection then dictates your hitboxes in the game. And it doesn't make sense as to why, because what's the point? I get it, it's to manage latency, but why? If Infinity Ward wants to prove to us that this game is just purely based on connection, why would you have a form of managing latency that takes into account skill? What's Why? And then why would you also then change the core fundamentals of a multiplayer game, a multiplayer shooter for that fact, which is the hitbox, according to a player's skill, if this game is purely connection based, right? So it doesn't make sense. And again, I'm going to continue to look into this. I'm going to continue to see if I can find that hitbox pattern or anything like that, because apparently it's out there. I'm going to keep looking. If I can't find it, then I can't find it. If I find it, then I'll make a video on it, because that's something that I need to discuss and talk to you guys about. But here we are, 2020, Modern Warfare 2019, where skill-based matchmaking is a thing. The developers don't want to admit it, and they're making the hitboxes smaller for players with better connection and higher skill, which explains a lot. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please leave a like, comment down below. If you're experiencing these things in terms of hitboxes being smaller than what they usually are, please let me know. If you have clips, link them to me. Message me on Twitter, DM me, do whatever you fucking want. I want to see your clips. I want to feel your frustrations. Let's go through this together. Click subscribe if you're new here so you don't miss out any of my next videos, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.